My name is Sarah Hathaway, and my husband Mike and I joined Brentwood Baptist Church in January of 1995. We have two daughters, Mary Grace and Katie, who have grown up in our church. I've been involved in various aspects of ministry over the last 24 years. I think one of the first things I became involved with was women's ministry and Bible studies. I was working at the time, and so I attended a Bible study on Tuesday night, but after the birth of our first daughter, I was able to stay at home and began attending Bible study on Fridays at a lovely home, Sarah Lou Lunn's house, and Carolyn Campbell was our teacher and was there for several years. Yes, I became the administrator for the Friday class, keeping up with names, phone numbers, addresses. It was all different then. We didn't have cell phones, and so we actually used landlines and called people and things like that. So communication was a little different. Back then there was only one or maybe two Bible studies. I think there was the Friday daytime study, and then I was in a Tuesday night study. Everything kind of changed one day in October of the year 2000 when Carolyn Campbell suddenly passed away. And subsequently, one of her wishes was that there would be more studies. So following her death, we were able to start a Bible study every day of the week and offered opportunities for women to learn God's Word more. And that was her heart, and so that became our heart as well, to continue that offering for women. Yes, we had 5 days of Bible studies, and there was a study every day, and it was full. We started with maybe 30 women on the Friday study, and by the time the next year or two rolled around, there was 20 to 30 women in studies each day of the week. Women's studies are vital during the week, in my opinion, because they provide opportunity for ladies to really get to know one another on an intimate level and share their hearts, not just a Sunday morning lesson that may play off the sermon or be a different venue, but we were in homes and we would often have soup afterwards or brunch before and really provide opportunity for fellowship as well as study of God's Word. Love being involved in the mission projects with our girls. The best trips I think our girls went on were mission trips through this church, and that started in the 5th grade. Our oldest daughter, Mary Grace, was part of one of the trips to Pearlington, Mississippi after the hurricane destroyed so much of the coast. And we stayed in a church in 100-degree heat in the summer, walked 100 yards to a shower trailer to clean up after we worked. But that trip was so special because we had the opportunity to put on Vacation Bible School for children who had literally nothing, didn't have anything to do. Most of their homes had been destroyed. And as a bonus, God provided a second opportunity to do Vacation Bible Study not only in the afternoons, but also in the mornings in a school facility that was helping keep children safe during the day. And so we did a morning and an afternoon Vacation Bible School that was, it was challenging for our 10 and 12-year-old children going from 5th to 6th grade, but yet it provided them strength. They grew in their faith. The children themselves had to prepare the lessons. And so that was a fantastic growing opportunity for those kids. And then with Katie, our second daughter, we went to Americus, Georgia, and served the community there. And we were involved in a local church, did Vacation Bible School at night with them, served supper, and then the children taught Vacation Bible School as well. Absolutely. We do have a unique community here in the Brentwood-Franklin area, and going to other places where their environment is so different from ours is a great thing, but we can also do that here in our backyard. We were also involved in Mission 615 when our girls were in middle school. And we stayed in churches in downtown Nashville, and we went and worked in food pantries and did carnivals in low-income housing areas. We worked in nursing homes, and so that let them see that yes, you can go off to Pearlington or Americus or Chicago, but you can also serve people who have needs here in our own community. There have been several women who I call women of the church that I have just enjoyed learning under. Brenda Holmes is one, Sarah Lou Lunn, Jan Faust, of course Carolyn Campbell was one. Shelley Jameson was involved in our New and Expectant Parents group back in the late 90s when we were having babies. And just women who are so grounded in God's Word that provided the young moms of the church a safe place to go and ask questions. They helped us with planning just things at home, teaching our children God's Word, and also how to be a good wife to our husbands. Yes, one Sunday Mike had been preaching about prayer and about being diligent in our prayer life, and he asked the question from the pulpit, how fervent are you in praying for something for 4 days, for 40 days? And that really struck a chord with me, because sometimes I'll pray for, a week or so about something and then let it go and just know that the Lord has it. But our class decided to meet together and pray on a nightly basis for 40 consecutive days. We met straight through, no breaks, and we were a young couples class, so we had young children. So typically one spouse would come, one would stay at home with the children, and we met and prayed for different needs for that 40 days. And a short while later, one of our class members got sick, and she actually was in ICU for 21 days and actually woke up on Christmas Eve. And so as a result of our learning fervency with praying for 40 days, we were able to be diligent in our prayers a year or so later for our friend. And she has gone on to live a magnificent life. So it was a wonderful thing to practice prayer and then actually experience. I would agree. Some of those people have moved and are not part of the Brentwood community anymore, but many of them are, and it is a joy. We still actually are in a texting group together, and we still text prayer requests on a fairly frequent basis, knowing that we all have each other's backs and giving our requests to the Lord and asking Him for guidance and help. I would tell a visitor that our church is a warm place. It may seem large when you walk in, but if you will make the effort to step into a life group or a women's Bible study or a men's Bible study, or jump in where your children are and serve, that you will find a community there that will stand beside you and walk beside you in good times and in bad, and will rejoice with you fervently. I like Mike's vision of 100 churches. I like the vision of that because it brings back to me the small church environment. While we are a great hub of a learning center here on Concord Road, I believe that the smaller churches and smaller groups are really where deep relationships are formed. And so I think that I love the vision of the 100 smaller churches.